I automated 70% of my marketing reporting with Claude Cowork and saved 60% of the time spent on manual reporting. And today, I'll show you how you can do it too. We'll cover why you should use Claude Cowork for automating marketing reporting, how Cowork is structured and what projects, skills, plugins, and other terms mean, how to prepare your data and Claude Cowork itself for automation, and 3 use cases for using Claude Cowork automation in your marketing workflows. Let's start with why you should choose Claude Cowork in the first place for automating marketing reporting. Claude has 3 flavors, as I like to call them: good old Claude Chat, Claude Cowork, and Claude Code. Claude Chat is best for brainstorming, research, and one-time simple tasks, as it can't run multi-step work unattended. Claude Code and Cowork run on the same agentic architecture. Both can read files, connect to external tools via MCP, and execute multi-step tasks without you having to manage each step. But Claude Cowork is less technical than Code and more powerful than Chat, which makes it more practical for marketers. You just type the prompt, set up the task, and Cowork executes it. Before we get to automating, you need to understand how Claude Cowork is structured. It has 6 main components. First one is skills, reusable instruction sets stored as Markdown files. They tell Cowork how to handle a specific task type, reporting format, brand voice, content planning methodology. The coolest thing about skills is that you can build them once, reuse them across sessions, share them with team members, or just find them online. Second is plugins. Those are bundles that package multiple skills, connectors, and sub-agents into one installable unit. Anthropic has a marketplace with ready-made options. You can also build your own plugins. Next one are commands / shortcuts that trigger specific skills or actions. File system folder context. Everything in your project folder: strategy docs, brand guidelines, ICP definitions, past briefs, and most importantly, Claude.md. Claude.md is a set of standard instructions that load automatically at the start of every session without you pointing to it or explaining it, and all of it in just one file. And then there are connectors and MCP servers. Claude integrations that bring live data from external tools into Cowork. These work exactly the same as with Chat. With these, Cowork gets direct access to your data. And the last one are projects. Those are workspaces that keep your folders, instructions, skills, and full task history in place between sessions. So skills define how Cowork works, folders give it context, connectors gives it tools and data, projects give it a narrow focus. Quick note before we get started: Claude Cowork is now available on the web, mobile, and desktop apps. However, web and mobile are new features that Claude has just started rolling out, beginning with the Max plans. So if you're not on the Max plan, you may be able to access it only on desktop. This also means that if you're using Claude Cowork on desktop, scheduled tasks will only run when your desktop is awake and the Claude app is running. If you're using it on the web or mobile, the tasks will run in the background even if your laptop is sleeping, because they will be executed in the cloud. So just keep that in mind when setting up the tasks and automations. To automate marketing reporting, the first step is to prepare the data before feeding it into Cowork. But before we move to that, click the subscribe button and turn on notifications so you don't miss our upcoming tutorial on automating reports with Claude Code. Alright, back to connecting Claude Cowork with your data for accurate analysis. For that, we'll use Coupler.io, a data integration and AI analytics platform that connects to more than 400 different sources. Coupler.io allows you to collect data from multiple marketing sources, blend them into a single data flow, and connect the data to Claude to automate reports. We cover how to connect your marketing data to Claude in a dedicated tutorial, so check that one if you haven't already. This time, all you need to do is add the Coupler.io connector to Claude, like so. Coupler.io team created the skills you'll need for reporting. The skills are now available via the Coupler.io connector and will load automatically. This means that Claude will pull not only the schema, context, and data, but also best practices for creating reports and using the Coupler.io connector. Once you add the Coupler.io connector, set up a project so that Claude Cowork maintains context across different sessions. In the Claude Cowork main view, click Work in a project or folder, then create a new project. Here you can either build it from scratch, import a project from chat, or just choose the working folder on your computer. For this demo, I'll just create it from scratch. Add a project name and optional an instruction, as the Coupler.io marketing skill provides everything Claude needs for this task. So I'll skip it for now. Click Create and that's it! Your project is ready. Now we're ready to set up scheduled tasks to automate reports. I'll show you 3 use cases and you can build on top of them based on your workflow. First, we'll set up a weekly report template. Then, ask Claude Cowork to run daily campaign health checks. Finally, we will build a live dashboard right inside Claude. Open the Claude Cowork project we just created. In the chat box, write a clear prompt that explains what Claude should do every week on its own. Think of it as a briefing a new analyst on your team. The more specific you are, the better the output. If you are not sure what to ask, go to Claude Chat and brainstorm with AI, then ask it to give you the output for Cowork task. I'll use a simple prompt like this one that tells Claude Cowork which data sources to use, which metrics to pay attention to, and what to flag. Run the prompt and check the result. Is this the format you'd use? Are the interpretations in the report accurate? Did it fetch the accurate data source? If something is off, go back and adjust the prompt until you get the desired result. Claude will ask you a few simple questions like how often you want the report to run and what day and time. I set mine for Monday at 8 AM so I have the report ready when I start my workday. Click Schedule and done. You'll get your weekly report on scheduled basis. What I like about this is that it makes the report more consistent by pulling from the same data and applying the same logic to every weekly report. It also suggests action points and summarizes data, and I can always dig deeper in the same conversation if needed. And don't forget to check the final output and apply your own judgment before taking that report to your team. It's always better to trigger the first run manually to check that everything works correctly. Apart from weekly reports, you may want to set up daily health checks to flag issues early so budgets don't get drained if something goes wrong. The starting point is the same, you open the project and type the prompt. But this time, this is what the prompt looks like. Instead of the full breakdown, we're asking Claude to identify exceptions and highlight issues that need attention. It's narrowed down to 3 or 4 things that affect decision making. That could be CPC spikes, zero conversion spend, budget pacing, and so on. As this runs daily, we need the report to be short so we can get a sense of the campaign's health in a few seconds. And similar to the previous use case, run the prompt, check the results, iterate if needed. Schedule daily at the desired time and you'll have your daily health check for your morning coffee. Once you're all set with the reports, you can also build a live dashboard right inside Claude Cowork. In your project, ask Claude, for example, to create a live artifact for monthly ad spend and efficiency based on PPC data stored in Coupler.io. In a few minutes, Claude will create a dashboard that automatically updates with live data whenever you open the artifact, and you can also force an update by clicking Reload. My dashboard shows KPIs and monthly trends, and I can tweak anything that needs adjustments just by talking with Cowork. So we've just created a fully customizable live dashboard without having to ask data analysts for help. That's an achievement. And that's all. You're now ready to automate marketing reporting based on your workflows. And if you want to know how Claude Chat, Cowork, and Code work side by side, we have a fun breakdown on our channel. Go check it out. I'll see you there.